Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Man United agenda. And yes, is Zidane on the brink of becoming the Manchester United manager, or will it be a case of waiting till the end of the season? Welcome, everyone, to the Man United agenda, and buckle up for a fantastic show tonight. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Man United agenda. And yes, it's all about the rumours regarding Zidane becoming the Manchester United manager. And as always, we're joined by our fabulous, beautiful people panel. It's Mr. B. Welcome back to the Man United agenda.
Back.
In the return of the Mac here. And as always, we've got Rebel in the corner. Thank you. Rebel. Let's get ready to rumble. And I've obviously over 6'5", 6'6", the Monday of the Juma, normally the Monday of the week. See what a Monday of the week it will be this week. Welcome.
What intro? Thank you.
Thank you. Welcome. And as always, all the way from Manchester, whether or not we're putting Snickers in the fridge or what we're doing, welcome back, Jay.
Thanks for what an intro. Thanks for having me back on.
It's brilliant having you back. How are we all feeling, guys? International week this week. Lot of, not much going on at Manchester United, obviously, regarding Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, what's going on. So how are we all feeling? Are we feeling positive? England are playing. Harry Maguire just scored again. Come on, talk to us. Hello, everyone.
Oh, look, just get on with it. Forget about England, man. We come here to talk United, man. I ain't got no time for talk about no England rubbish. I'm telling you, bruv. Not interested one bit.
Hi, Jay. How you doing? Would you like to talk about England?
I have to say, I echo Mr. B's sentiments, really. I'm not, when you asked me to come on tonight, I wasn't like, nah, I can't. I'm watching England versus San Marino. I was like, not a problem. Yeah, of course. I mean, just on the England thing, though, from a United point of view, it's a shame in it because Harry Maguire got his goal against Albania, and rather than being a positive, it seems to become a negative because there's been all this talk about his celebration and all this and that. Roy Keane had a bit of a dig at him. Other people have been sort of, questioning him, having a dig, saying it was a bit out of order and all that. I'm with Mr. B. I don't really care that much about England. I do care about Manchester United. I just want to see Harry Maguire getting back to his best form for Manchester United because I'm a firm believer that he's a good player having a bad spell, not the other way around, or not a bad player, sorry, having a bad spell. But yeah, got another goal tonight. I just hope that he can get a little bit of confidence back from these. I know it's only Albania and San Marino, but just getting out getting into the rhythm of just enjoying your football, getting clean sheets and winning football matches, come back for the Watford game, and hopefully he'll be back to the Harry Maguire that we saw middle of last season, towards the end of last season before he got injured, and that first season, because I like Harry Maguire. I just think his form's fallen off a cliff, and we just need to get him back because as long as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as the manager, I don't see Harry Maguire getting dropped. So if he is going to play, we want him playing well, and hopefully he can build on these performances against, pretty awful teams, but a winner's a win, innit? And back-to-back goals for your country, that's decent, regardless of whether you like his celebration or not.
Well, Harry Kane scored a hat-trick, so he's back to world-class Kane, isn't he? So anything's possible.
Back to world-class. He's got a hat-trick against Albania.
Anything's possible with that, isn't it, Harry Kane? But echoing that, I think Armando will be very happy with your comment there regarding Harry Maguire because he's a big firm believer about Harry Maguire. I still have my doubts a little bit about him, but he can only get better, can't he?
Whoa! You love Fred, and you've got doubts about Maguire. What is going on here, man?
Seriously. Listen, Fred has got.
You've given Fred a pass, and you've questioning Harry Maguire.
The reason I give Fred a pass is because he's got his passport where his birthplace was in somewhere in what?
Bradford.
Nottingham or something like that. He's from Nottingham, not the real Brazil.
He's like the Ali Dyer from Southampton. Great soon he's got done. We got done just as bad, you know? Nah, I echo what Jay was saying about Harry Maguire. He is a quality player. And what I don't like, I do like we're playing Albania, San Marino. These sides are really poor. And how are you going to really get off on that? But as regards to the celebration, I'm happy for him. Look, these guys are under the spotlight. And the reason it's been blown up so much is because he plays for Man United. Simple as that. You know, if he was playing for Leicester still, he wouldn't be getting all this big news all the time. Everything would just be like, it doesn't matter. That's not news for us. And Keane probably done that as well to keep the news on us. You know, everyone's talking about it. And just one more thing. Sorry, the world-class Harry Kane thing. I've heard that today on the radio. Someone said, yeah, Harry Kane proved he's more class against Albania, scored a hat-trick. Jesus
no comment. That was tongue-in-cheek, by the way. Yeah, no comment.
Yeah, I know. Hey, what's on the menu? What's on the menu tonight, man? I'm hungry. I want to eat some these topics.
Omondi, you're absolutely killing my vibe, mate. I was all happy about Ireland winning 3-0 last night against Luxembourg, and now you're absolutely after crapping all over it on me. So, damn it, man. Come on.
Hold on. I was watching that game at the pub, and Luxembourg were lucky not to score. They could have gone 1-0 down at one point. So, yeah, it was life and death.
Brilliant. So, guys, if you're watching the content, liking it, share it, please. And also subscribe. We're on the road to 1K subscriber. We're very close. We will be giving you the chance to win yourself a Bruno Fernandes signed football shirt once we hit the 1K. So, on the agenda today, guys, we're talking about the Zidane coming to Manchester United, whether or not he will come this season, whether or not we need him at Manchester United. My whole thing with Zidane about Man United, he has proven himself sort of at Real Madrid. But if he does come to Manchester United, will it be a positive step or will it be I don't know, will it be a positive or will it be a negative? Jay, what do you think, Zidane to Man United? Positive or negative?
I'm going to be honest, I have my doubts about whether he can get a tune out of this squad and whether he can work with these players and, you know, get himself defensively so we're solid, get the best out of, you know, that midfield, work out a system that accommodates the likes of Sancho, Rashford, Ronaldo, Greenwood, Pogba, Bruno. But it's Zidane in it, man. And you know full well, and I like Ollie, I do, but you know full well what I do anyway. If Zidane comes in, I'm going to have a buzz because it's Zinedine Zidane. This is a guy that was one of the best players in the modern era. And also as a manager, you know, you said, I think I'm paraphrasing what you said there, Solo, but you kind of said, he kind of almost proved himself at Real Madrid. The guy won 3 Champions Leagues in 3 years. Like, no one's done that as a manager. Like, no other manager in the Champions League era has done that. And he also won 2 La Ligas while he was doing that as well. And people will say, oh, yeah, well, he had Ronaldo, he had Benzema, he had Bale, he had Ramos, he had Varane. He had a very, very strong team. But so did Pep at Barca. Pep didn't do 3 Champions Leagues on the spin. No one's done that. It's not just a case if you've got a good team. And also, Zidane was going up against a good team because Barcelona was still a force then. And he was managed to get a tune out of him to win those Champions Leagues, win the La Liga as well, stave off the competition from Atletico, who were very strong under Simeone at the time. So I think you've got to sort of judge him on his merits. As a manager, he's done very well. And I just think there'll be a big buzz about him. And I'm almost like, you know what? I'm kind of excited by the prospects of him if he did come. I think like I'd get carried away and think, oh, it's Zidane, yeah. I mean, it might not work out, but it'd be very exciting for the short period of time. Do you know what I mean? It's one of those where it's a bit like taking drugs. You know, you might enjoy it at the time, but then later on you regret it. And it might be one of those ones where you're like, yeah, this is great. And then when we're into like 12 games and he's still not got a win, you're like, nah, this ain't working out at all.
Or with it as well, because he's been such a great player, Fred might look up to him and think Zidane's in the room, so I need to, improve my game.
Zidane will pick himself over Fred, bro.
Oh, brilliant. Guys, rumours, obviously, the money agenda, we talk, and I know, Jay, with my phrase there about Zidane, but I've been backing this for a long time now. Zidane come to Manchester United. I think he will have the cojones to manage some of these players with big egos, and he'll probably get the best out of some of our youngsters as well. And like Greenwood, you probably see like Rashford as well. They'll sort of get that stage where the command of Zidane, the stature of Zidane, will get the best out of these players on Monday? Fan or not fan of Zidane?
I'm a fan of him, great player, and the management thing. I think we should analyse what he did at Real Madrid. I just heard Jay say, "Oh, it's unanimous. He's done well." Who else has done this? I'd say Bob Paisley. Bob Paisley is regarded as one of the best
in the Champions League era. Yeah,
I think Bob Paisley was spoon-fed a great side, and he reaped the reward when Shankly was the one who done all the hard work before that. Real Madrid had all these players in peak condition, a bit like Liverpool now, and they're peaking their careers. Casemiro, Modric, Kroos. I mean, that midfield is there alone is just great. Marcelo was on form. Sergio Ramos. The whole team was like peak. So they had to win something. And to win 3 Champions League in a row, that's great. Bale, Benzema, Ronaldo. Oh my God! I mean, who couldn't manage that? Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm just saying this in the other show myself. So I think there's still a question mark about Zidane with his managerial ability, and because as soon as they started to go downhill, he decided to leave and say, all right, maybe I haven't got the ability to turn them or transition this side and get them back. I'm not sure. There's a question mark about it for me, as far as I'm concerned. And also, I don't think he wants to come to Manchester. I think as a player, he didn't want to come to Manchester or come to England or the Premiership. And as a manager, he certainly doesn't want to come here. So begging for someone who doesn't really want to be there, as I said in the previous show, I don't think that's a good idea. So there's a question mark for me.
Yeah. And you know what, on Monday, Mr. B's put his throne up against you. Yeah. So before, I know Rebel always want to get one over on you. I'm going to Mr. B first.
I would take Zidane for what he would bring attitude-wise to the players. But maybe I'm gonna get slap up, or you are gonna cut me off. But I want. If I had a choice, I would take Brendan Rodgers. I'll take Brendan Rodgers over Zidane. I just feel that Rodgers can grow with our team, and I don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't know what the feeling is. I don't know why I've got this feeling, but if Zidane comes, don't get me wrong, I'm not going to sit here and say, oh my God, I wanted Brendan Rodgers over Zidane. But me personally, as a coach-wise, maybe because I see what Brendan Rodgers has done at Swansea, at Liverpool with a young, I mean, he had, what's his name? Oh, what's that guy there? Sturridge, playing like he was Jesus, you know. So me personally, I would take Brendan Rodgers.
Go on, Rebel. You had your hand up. You go, take it away.
So Monday, in the 1600 or so days that Zidane was in charge of Real Madrid, 3 Champions Leagues, 2 La Ligas, 2 Spanish Super Cups. There's a couple of World Cup championships in there. So let's take your assessment of how you're viewing Zidane. So by that logic, Pep's a flop as well. Because Pep had Messi, Pep had Xavi, Pep had Iniesta, Pep had Muller, Pep had this, Pep had that at Bayern Munich, Pep had Aguero, Pep had De Bruyne. Like, if you're going to apply that logic to Zidane and whether he's proven as a manager, then you have to apply the same set of criterion to Pep. Because everywhere Pep has gone, he's had that superstar squad. So are you saying Pep's not a good manager?
All right, first, we're not in Star Wars. You're not.
Can I interrupt 1 second? Can I interrupt?
Criterion is some sort of space dust. I don't know what it is. Criteria is what we're talking about here. So if you're going to apply the same logic, I think with Pep, he's gone on to prove with different sides. I know he's got cash and all that kind of thing, but for one, he's got a clear philosophy. He's proven it in different leagues as well. This is what I'm saying. There's a difference. That's why I say there's a question mark over Zidane. And I think coming back all the way around again to Jay, what do you think now, Jay, that we've questioned it? And what do you think about Zidane? Because you're the first one to say this about the 3 Champions League and thing. But if you scratch the surface, do you see any sort of vulnerability there as a manager?
There's an unknown. I said that. There's an unknown. But I think you can't knock a guy as well, because I almost feel he doesn't get enough credit for what he did at Madrid. Like 3 Champions Leagues, that's as many as United have won in our history. That's amazing. It doesn't it's all right going, oh, he inherited a good team. That team, let's not forget, that team flopped when he left, and he went back and won the Liga with it, with a 12-point gap between them and Barcelona. And he took over from Lopetegui and made that gap up. So it's not like anyone could do it. Other managers had that same team and flopped with it. He comes back and wins the Liga. So he's what he did there is phenomenal. The question is, can he manage Fred? Can he manage it? Like, genuinely. Like, you mentioned it on Monday, right? He had Casemiro, yeah? One of the best players in that position on the planet. And now he's got McFred. And that, I know I sound like I'm being facetious, but it's true, innit? When you've got world-class players, and then you're coming and you're going in your training ground and you're going, you what? What's this? I've got to work with these guys. It's not easy. And that's my only question about Zidane is, if he was to come to United and he's used to working with these stars, and I think it's a difficult thing sometimes to work with stars and get a tune out of them. I remember the Galacticos. The Galacticos won 1 Champions League. They had all the best players in all the best positions. And they won 1 Champions League. No, they didn't. The Zidane volley in the final, you remember?
That wasn't there. That wasn't a full. Ronaldo wasn't there. Beckham wasn't there.
Yeah, but like the Figos and all that sort of stuff, when they started the Galacticos, they won 1.
Yeah.
They flopped, though. You're right. When Beckham and all that came, they didn't win another one. So it's not easy just to get a load of stars and do that. Because no other, Real Madrid was struggling until Zidane came in and did it because they weren't gelling. So I think he deserves credit for that. But the problem is, on the flip side of it, he can handle a lot of stars. He'll handle the Ronaldos and the Pogbas and the Brunos and the Rashfords and all that. But can he handle the Lindelofs and the Aaron Wan-Bissakas and the Dean Hendersons? Can he get them to the level where we're challenging for titles and challenging for Champions League? That's the big question mark over Zinedine Zidane. And, the only answer to that is I don't know because he hasn't done it yet. So it's whether you're willing to take that chance. Personally, like I say, I'm a bit of a kid when it comes to football. I will just get giddy if Zidane comes. And that giddiness almost makes me think, sack it. Let's just get him. Come on, it's Zidane in it. Let's just see what happens because he's such an esteemed guy. But in all seriousness, I think that is a massive question mark. And it might not work out for him because, when you can bring Gareth Bale off your bench to win you a Champions League final, it's a lot different than when you've got to bring on, no disrespect to him because I like the kid, but it's a lot different bringing on someone like Jesse Lingard or Donny van der Beek. It's not the same caliber, is it? And that's the big question when it comes to Zinedine Zidane. Because as you said on Monday, I agree with you on that. He hasn't proven himself with a team that's not very good. He's done it with a very good team. He's just reached the heights with that team, which is what I like about him.
And also a quick comment, GMS Limited, as a United agenda, we're not Ollie in and we're not Ollie out. We're just a football channel that we love talking about Manchester United and the future of Manchester United. So on Monday, it seems like the panel's on against you tonight. Mr. B, as a coach, with Ole at the moment as a coach, what player has he sort of improved, and what player could you probably see Zinedine Zidane coming in and basically taking to the next level out of these youngsters?
Ole's improved nobody. Let's be honest. If you look at
that's a low blow.
If it was last season, you could have said Shaw. But for whatever reason, Shaw's gone back to the Shaw of a year and a half ago. Bruno came with those figures. Pogba plays trash and inconsistent. Rashford, we've always been doing the bits. Greenwood, from he was 9 years old, man, know he was going to be Jesus at our club. So you tell me, who has he improved? Tell me, nobody. He's improved nobody.
Let's go, Rebel. Rebel's rubbing his hands.
But I think now, to be fair to Luke Shaw, I think unfortunately for Luke, we got a set kind of template in terms of our lineup. And last year, he was always looking at his shoulder at Tellez saying, he could take my spot, he could take my spot, he could take my spot. And for me this season, I don't feel like the same pressure is there. You said, who could Zidane improve? And there's one player that jumps to my mind straight away. And our central midfield is a problem. And I reckon Donny van der Beek would benefit hugely from a change because he is the one man in our squad that could actually affect the change to that midfield that we currently have.
And Jay, improvement? Anyone you think, or?
I don't know about improvement. Maybe he gets the best out of Ronaldo because he knows how to work with him. I'm not saying it's improvement, but he gets, that's a big sort of question that Ollie's not really sort of answered yet. We're still getting goals out of Ronaldo, but it seems to be almost at times like other players aren't performing at the levels they were. It's like, we haven't got that balance. It's like all Ronaldo at the minute. And, we were sort of lacking a little bit elsewhere where I think maybe, he could sort of get the best out of Ronaldo. whilst the team isn't suffering for that. You'd think with a player like Zidane, a manager like Zidane, the experience he's got, and especially as the player he was, maybe he gets a bit more consistency out of someone like Bruno. Because I love Bruno, but I think there is a little bit of question mark sometimes in the bigger games. He tries a little bit too hard, and things don't quite come off for him. And I think that's one criticism, that the only criticism that sometimes I can understand. I think some of the other criticism of him is OTT. And maybe someone like Zidane just gets the very best out of Bruno. Or maybe even, I know I'm listing loads of players there, but I know him and Pogba get on, don't they? So who knows, maybe he can finally answer that Paul Pogba question we've been asking ourselves since he came through the academy in 2011. Maybe he gets the best out of Paul Pogba.
Yeah, because Pogba also said that's the manager he really wants to work with. So it could be a case of Zidane comes in, Pogba signs a new contract, and we do see the true Pogba at Manchester United. On Monday, players improve, or what players?
Yeah, I'm with Mr. B. I can't see, and I'm not disrespecting any Ollie, but I don't see any improvement from any player. It's not like he's spotted a youngster. It's like someone said to him, "Oh, Langa's good, come through," but he might take credit and said, "Yeah, I brought through Langa," or something like that, or Solskjaer or one of these guys. But they're stars in their own division, their youth setup. They're stars there. They're naturally going to come through and get a spot. I think one thing that's been consistent is that we're bringing in through youngsters. So I don't want Ollie to take claim, say I brought these youngsters through and I developed them. I don't think that's the case. They're being coached elsewhere. It's a bit like Rashford and Louis van Gaal. Louis van Gaal is a bit different there. Louis van Gaal spotted him when he wasn't really shining, or no one saw him as the guy to come through. And maybe it's a bit fortunate how he got his debut and everything else. But he continued to play him, and he brought the best out of him. And suddenly Rashford's like a top player. So I don't see Ollie bringing anyone through. And I do agree with Jay and someone else said it about Pogba and Zidane. I think those two work well together.
Yeah. So it's a tough one, because at Man United, has Ole, in my opinion, improved anyone? I'm going to agree with on Monday, Mr. B. I can't see really and truly who's improved since he's been at Manchester United. All I know, he's gave Mason Greenwood a nice platform, and Mason Greenwood has taken it. But apart from that, I can't really and truly see any progress. Luke Shaw last season was fantastic, the Brazilian Shaw. I think Wan-Bissaka was really good, even though he gets a lot of criticism about going down on the floor. I think he's a top player, and he still is a top player, but form this season isn't there this season. I think it's the whole back four, really, when it comes to form this season. They're struggling a little bit, but class is permanent. So because its class is permanent, I think they will bounce back sooner rather than later, and then you'll start seeing them working together as a back four. Also with the performance this season of De Gea, yes, we're conceding lots of goals, but De Gea has saved us quite a lot as well. So I'm going to go to... Welcome back, Mr. B. We're going to go back now. And Jay, most of the fan base, obviously, we are talking on here. There's I think it might just be on Monday, really. But most of the fan base, when you go on social media, they're not that convinced with Zidane. Is it a case of, if Zidane comes into Manchester United, Ole gets sacked, is it something we could regret, or do you think we just got to gamble and risk going for Zidane if we need to get back to that elite level?
I'll be honest with you. I like the Zidane chat. I do. And, I can understand why the club are looking at him. I'm not so sure he'll come, in all honesty. I'll be honest. I feel he's got half an eye on the French job. Yeah. And I feel like the France job is like, it's a win-win for him. Like, you got to remember, Zidane's stock is probably as high as any manager in the world. We've all mentioned it. The guy just stormed it with Real Madrid. Monday said he kind of left under a bit of a cloud. He left when I think he left because he didn't feel he was getting back properly. He wanted to rebuild. That team we've all mentioned was coming towards the end. It needed rebuilding. He wasn't given didn't feel he was having the backing he wanted. He's going to want to build something here at United as well. He's going to want to bring in players. I don't think he comes in and just goes, right, this 11 or this squad I've got, that's enough for me. He'll want players, and, United owners aren't exactly shrewd when it comes to backing managers. It's very hit and miss. So is he going to come and work for the Glazers when he could wait till after the Qatar World Cup? I think he's already been earmarked. Takes over from Deschamps. He's revered in France. The guy can't do any wrong. And also he inherits a France squad that is probably the best squad in world football.
Yeah.
So it's like a Real Madrid scenario. We're all saying he inherited the greatest team on the planet. He'll do it again then, because that France team is probably player for player the best international team, if we're being honest. So does he come to United where it's a massive risk for him, or does he just wait, go to France where he's already a god, and build on that? Yeah. I'm not so sure. I think he probably goes to the France job. You know, I think it was OMONDI who said earlier he didn't. You know, he's never really shown any interest in coming to United. So I think we might be kidding ourselves a little bit. I know it's like there's rumors and reports, and I'm not having to dig at you guys for being up, because we've been talking about it on the channel all day, on my channel, because there's reports that we want him. But do you know what I mean? I want to play for Manchester United. Don't mean it's going to happen. So just because the Glazers want him doesn't mean we'll get him. Just because Ronaldo likes him doesn't mean Ronaldo is going to be able to convince him to come to Old Trafford. Do you know what I mean? So I think that it's all very romantic, and I'm excited and I like to chat about it, but I'll be surprised if Zidane comes to United. Very surprised. Seriously. Yeah. I just don't see him taking that, what would be for him, I think. Not just for United. Let's not forget, we're all looking at it from United point of view because we're United fans, but for him, it's a gamble because his stock is so high. And he comes to United, it don't work out. And people will look at that and go, he's not made of platinum. He is fallible. Do you know what I mean? He isn't the guy we all thought he was. You know, he needs the best squad in the world to do anything with it. So I think maybe we're just sort of kidding ourselves a little bit.
Yeah. So on Monday, I'm going to ask you, could you take some of the questions away, please, in about 2 or 3 of them, and then we can see if we can answer some of these guys' questions. And then we're going to talk about this new proposal they're putting in about this shareholder scheme as well for fans.
Yeah. About that share, I wanted to know what that means. Maybe Jay could help us out with that a little bit later about the fan share thing. I don't have any understanding about that. Okay, so Saragon, how you doing? He says, surely this is to do with finance again. Surely the Glazers want to slice of Zidane for 1 season to watch their share price soar. Is that an issue? Is that why we're linked with someone like Zidane? A bit like Ronaldo because of his name, maybe? What do you guys think about that? I'm not sure. Also, Saragon as well. He's saying Zidane would improve Martial, the French connection thing, because we're not getting the best out of Martial, are we really, out here? Here's bath time. It says, if Zidane can't get Pogba to play, I don't know who can. Agree. So, I don't know. In general, look, people are saying here, Rush is saying, can't see Zidane working with the Glazers. That's the problem. The structure isn't right. I kind of agree with that. It's a good comment. And last one here says, so you guys, Ollie, we've done that one. But is there a way back for Ollie, basically, he's asking. With all this chat about international football and the break, everything else, we've had a lot to talk about. And I'm disappointed with Ollie, me personally. I think we're right to be discussing or speculating about other management. Rebel, you're raising your eyebrow there.
I suppose I just wanted to come in there. When we talk about Ollie, there was a tweet I wanted to read out. It was actually from Jay, and I thought it's very poignant. And kind of summed up.
You've been busted.
What we've been trying to, what I feel about United. When Ollie goes eventually, whether it's today, tomorrow, next year, whenever, people need to remember he loves United, and that is correct. I think he does. He gave it Continentals. I'm going to clean it up a small bit, Jay, if you don't mind. And no matter what he gave it, his all. His shortcomings are as a manager, not as a person that cares about United. And when I look at United, and I've mentioned this in previous shows, our problem is not just Ollie. When I look at the coaching staff that he has under him, I see a B-level coaching staff are people that are basically learning to coach on the job. Carrick and McKenna are both very new to the positions that they're in, and they're basically trying to develop along with Ollie. And the other side of it is, as well as, we look at our structures. We look at the way Liverpool and City are structured. You have a small, tiny ownership level at the directors area, and then you have your director of football and the guy that works underneath him controlling the football. We had an accountant controlling the football after David Gill.
Okay. Rebel is on it tonight. Rebel, by the way, Rebel is new with us, Jay, and we love it at the moment because he doesn't let OMONDI breathe for a second. The minute OMONDI says something, that's it. He's on him, which is great.
It's a bit like how Keane was with Gary Neville. Yeah. On the football pitch.
Yeah.
He's on my case like that. But anyway, I want to know about this fan share something that they're doing by me. I don't know anything about it. Someone just asked the question earlier and I couldn't give an answer. I don't know what it is. So hopefully Jay can really help us out with that one.
Like basically, there was this. From what I've only read a little bit about it myself, and it's that they've given, they're going to give the fans the right to buy. I think it's some of the Class B shares, which means you can have voting rights and all that sort of stuff. The problem is, it's the amount of shares. I think it's 1 million worth of shares or something. It basically works out from when we did the maths before. And again, I need to speak to an expert on this. I think it's like 0.5%. I think that's what it amounts to of the overall shares. So you're going to have 0.5% of the shares, where the Glazers are going to have the other 99.5 or whatever it is. So, whilst it might be looked as a step in the right direction, it's certainly not. It's not at the moment. I don't think it's anything to get too excited about, because he's still only got a very, very small percent of the club, very small. But who knows? Hopefully, we can build on this. I don't know at the moment, because this came out this afternoon. We spoke about it a little bit. I've contacted a few people who know a bit more about it. Financial football experts and stuff like that. I'm trying to reach out to Musk, who've obviously been involved in these negotiations. We've had them on the channel, Manchester United Supporters Trust. Speak to them and get a steer on what they think about this. But at the moment, I've seen there Saragon McKennedy in the chat saying the share option thing is tokenism. At the minute, it looks a little bit like that. But we'll have to wait and see. Is this baby steps towards something better? I don't know. Do you know what I mean? Like, you can look at it in the positive. You can go, okay, we've got more of the club than we had this morning.
Yes,
you know what
true.
I mean? So there's that. Or you can look at it as going, is this just do you know what I mean? Like, let's give him,
brush them off.
Let's give him a little sweet, and then they won't want the whole candy store sort of thing. So we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah.
If you get more info, can you let us know? Because I'm not that well informed with these kind
I'm
of
with
things.
you, Monday. Football financial things, go over my head. But I know people that do know about him. There's a guy called Kieran Maguire we had on, who's very well versed on this. He's a bona fide football financial expert. So I reached out to him, and as soon as he gives me a heads up, I'll get you guys. I'll give shout out to you guys as well, and we can between a lot of us, we can find out what's going down. Because, like I say, I'd rather be honest about it and just say I don't really know than try to speculate. Do you know what I mean? It's one of them.
Rebel.
Can I just come in there real quick? So the Sky Sport article on this is that it's going to be £7.4 million in the initial tranche of shares. They're going to carry 10 times the voting rights of the ordinary Class A shares held by most investors. But the understanding is that they're 1 to 3 against the Glazers. So basically, our shares, if we had one, would be worth 1 vote, whereas the Glazer vote would be worth 3 against those. Is the understanding as to how the structure is going to work with those shares, according to Sky.
Nice.
Really good. Nice. I think they're trying to do it like how they're doing in Germany, but like what Jay says on Monday, myself is the same. Mr. B, I don't know what about you as well. I don't really know too much about it, so I can't really speculate anything until I know concrete and I've read up a bit more about it. I think it's a token, but it's a suggestion that's going in the right direction as a club. I think the Glazers trying to get closer to the fans, or is it a case of they're holding us as arm length, or is it again? We've got Rebel there is talking about money. It's a very difficult one, because obviously it's all to do with the stock exchange as well. I know Rebel, you follow the stock exchange quite heavily. What is it like at the moment for Man United? Because I know you follow it heavily. I don't look into it.
Didn't get today's, but after the Liverpool game, we dropped, I think it was 1.5%, and they had a slight increase when there was rumours of Ollie getting sacked. But the latest United share price is, I'll pull it up there now for you. Talk amongst yourselves while I'm doing that.
Oh, okay. So we got to go.
Can I just add? Look, we saw the guy. We never heard anything from the Glazers after all the riots and the protests and the bad form and everything else. Suddenly, he's there giving a speech. Just happened to be filmed and saying to some American footballers or whatever, saying, "Oh yeah, Ronaldo was 16 when he came to Man United and completely messed up. Wally of the week, that kind of thing. Then we're seeing the Arsenal guy. And the Arsenal guy came out and gave a little TV statement the other day, looking all jazzy with his beard and nice. So I think it's just like a bit of propaganda. Look at us. We're out here now. We care about the clubs, that kind of thing. But it's all fake. They're scripted. Sorry, the shares.
Just to come in there, my suspected money move that I did there a second ago is, since this has been announced, there's been an increase of 2.25% in today's share price.
There you go. Win-win. So can Ole turn this around though? We're going to run to something else now. We're going to go to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer because we're coming closer to the show to wrapping it up. Do you guys believe Ole can turn this around? He's gone away now. He's been away for almost a week. He's going to be back at training. I think he's over tomorrow, Wednesday. Can we see Ole changing this around? Mr. B, you're holding your head. Can you see him turning this around?
I've been away for a week. I have been watching you and I've been bursting. I don't understand how, in this day and age, they just expect people just to have no memory. It's like they want the whole, what's that Men in Black thing where they press that painting and everybody forgets. Because that's what I've convinced that they did. When I heard he was going on holiday, I thought it was for the weekend. Weekend away with the kids so they come back. He's been away all the way this time. They've had the option. They've got no respect for him. I love Ollie to bits. I'm the king for wanting Ollie to I would love him to come in with a new formation, a little gangster attitude in training, where he's just chiefing up. And man are afraid of him, and they've got out there to perform. And that goes on for the rest of the season. But I think he's been here long enough for me to believe that I don't think that he can turn it around. I swear to God, if he could just do something where, even if it's so that we know, even if it's just us five on the agenda and our listeners, so that we know that he's carrying on with some dark arts in training. You know what I mean? That's what I would love. But I honestly don't believe he's got it in him, man. I think he's just running his time down now, man, which is a shame.
Jay?
Come on, go on. Ooh,
oh,
Jay.
you're going. Go on, Jay.
With Ollie, I think that the sad thing is, like, it's like he almost looks like a man who's beaten now. Do you know what I mean? Like he almost looks like he hasn't got that fight in him, that sort of belief in himself. I look at him on the dugout against the Scousers and I just feel like, I don't know, man. It just feels like someone who's going through the motions. And like the thing with Ollie is, people say he's Mr. Nice and all this, but you've always seen that fight in him. You see it as a player, you see it as a manager. You've seen him have that sort of that belief and that ability to just, even in the dark times, I remember the 2-0 loss at home to Burnley, the time when we had to play City and Spurs back to back when people thought he would lose both of those games, he's gone. There's been times when it looks like Ollie had no chance of keeping his job, even going back to when he took over as caretaker. No one gave him a prayer of keeping it permanently, but he's always been able to sort of overcome the odds. But now, excuse me, I just see a guy who, it's just sad to see, really, because I love Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, but I just see a guy who, it's like he knows this isn't going to work out for him. And I hope I'm wrong. I love him to turn it around and win the next 20 games or whatever. But I just can't see it happening. I just can't. And what worries me is it's going to get worse. Like, if we lose to Watford, losing to Liverpool and City is one thing, and they were bad defeats because of the nature of it. But you go to a newly promoted team like Watford and you lose that as well. I don't see a way past that. I really don't. And it's getting to the point, it's been mentioned, I tweeted about my love of Ollie, and as a person, he's a good person. People need to remember that and stop with the personal attacks on him, because I won't be having that. If you question his managerial ability, fine. I'm all about that. Every United fan has a right to do that. But when I hear people that, like, name calling and being stupid, I can't be having that. But I think that could get worse if he keeps these results going. If we lose to Watford and they stick with him, it's only going to get worse. And it's sad to see, man, because you've got a guy that's trying his best. The thing is, when push comes to shove, his best has fallen short. It just has.
With that as well, saying that as well, though, Jay, losing to Watford is not an option. We have to go in and we have to win that game. As a Man United fan, I've always stated, it doesn't matter if you like the manager or hate the manager. Being a football fan, you want your club to win. So no matter what the situation is, you want your club to win. So even if it keeps them in a job for another 5, 6, 7, 8 games, you want your football club to win games. With that, saying that, Amanda, we're going to be at the game on Saturday. A must-win game, right? We're going to be there, so it has to be a win game.
Yeah, it must be. We could look. I think Watford, they've done all right. They've got a new manager. They're on their up. They've got an exciting front three as well. But beyond that, can you name their players? I mean, they got whooped 5-0 by Liverpool. Oops, we did as well. Okay. You know what I mean? It's like, it's not good. Yeah, we have to go there and win. I mean, come on now. It's about time. We have to turn it around. And what we now? We're now on Monday. Is it Monday? And Ollie's not back. Yes. You know, so I'm starting to think, was it like a return ticket or not? Did he go back to the airport and they said, no, this is a one-way ticket, mate? You know? Or was it one of them situations like Misery? You seen the film Misery with Kathy Bates? Where they said there's an avalanche. Yeah, there's an avalanche and like he's stuck in a bedroom and he's getting his ankle broke or something like that. You know, I don't know what's going on, but it's really bizarre to me. I don't think he's coming back, to be fair. I really don't think he's coming back. I think it's just to secure him, get away from all the press and everything else, stay there. We're going to sort it out and create some sort of story. But we beat Watford. We've got to, because look, we're going to lose track of the top 4. We're already 3 points behind Arsenal. It's not a joke anymore. Playtime's over. We need to fix up and start playing and delivering. And we've got a couple of injuries we mentioned the other day, like Varane still out and a couple of players and everything else. But it doesn't matter. We still have to go and step up and beat Watford. And because after that, we got Chelsea, we got Champions League, and we got Arsenal. Is that right? It's kind of that order. And these aren't easy games.
Arsenal.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Go on, Rebel.
Absolutely. You know, I suppose for me, the last week has been bizarre. Even with giving the players the week off to kind of come back from the situation and the circle that we were in terms of our patterns of play and our formations and our structures not being right in the field, it just did not ring correctly to me that Ollie and his coaching staff were not present in their offices trying to work out how they're going to turn this around. And it kind of rang true to me that the board just felt they needed everybody to get out of the limelight and just completely darken the agenda. Now, all this talk about Ollie, again, there's Ollie the player and Ollie the manager, and we have to have our views separated on that. But the person that's primarily negligent in all this, for me, is Ed Woodward. Since he took over from Ed Gill, we've had 10 years of negligence, in my view, because he did not understand the basic footballing concepts that were needed to ensure that there were short, medium, and long-term goals achieved. He went for the flashy signings. He went for those signings that would benefit the deals that he put together in terms of sponsorships, in terms of brand united. He made appointments that, actually at one stage, Jose, if we would go back to Jose, we all berated the style of football that we played. But Jose wanted A, B, and C players, and if he got them, his formations would have worked. It's one thing to have football that's not exactly pleasing to the eye as long as you're getting results. But they did not enable him to get results. And unfortunately, when Ole came in, they did not give him a set of coaches that were up to the required standard to help Ole flourish as a manager and actually possibly be that manager that we hoped he could be.
Okay. Jay, do you agree with let's go to Mr. B. Mr. B, sorry, and then Jay before we read some more comments out. Go on, Jay. Go on, Mr. B.
I was just listening to Rebel Waffle, man. You can talk some fart when you're ready, bro. But you know, we'll save that for Friday.
Oh, wicked. So, Jay, obviously, we're talking about the Jose Mourinho, and obviously, we got to look at the whole fact is you started the conversation with Ole the person, Ole the manager, which you're 100% right with. We can't judge him on his personality. We've got to judge him on what you see he does on the pitch and what he's doing on the pitch at the moment. I'm hoping he can right all those wrongs and get some sort of system going of style of play for us to change this around, because we want to see him on the Man United agenda. Man United fans, Jay as well, you guys, everyone want to see him succeed at Manchester United. It'd be lovely if we went out and won the Champions League and then also forgiven and forgotten. That's what I'd love. whether or not will happen, we got a couple of top fixtures coming up. So do we now, Jay, going forward, if Ole did get sacked, obviously Zidane's linked, would it be a case of, we keep saying about playing the Man United way, is that something that's gone now, playing the Man United way?
This is a debate that's come up a little bit. Sorry as well, Mr. B. My internet cut out when you were talking then, so I missed what you said.
He was cussing Rebel.
Okay. But my like the United way, for me, like people say, what is the United way and do we play United way? I think it's more, for me, the United way has been more about like promoting youth and giving youngsters a chance. I think that's probably the biggest thing, part of the United way. You know, I look at Sir Alex Ferguson, I look at a manager that for my early part of my sort of youth was 4-4-2. That was everything, it was all 4-4-2. And then by the end of his career, or so when the Ronaldo era, we had like, it was more 4-3-3, wasn't it? Because, you know, you had Tevez, Rooney and Ronaldo. That wasn't a 4-4-2. So this whole United way, I think it changes. I think, you know, Fergie's United way was just winning. That was his way. Do you know what I mean? Like, and then since Fergie, we've had David Moyes, who likes, you know, who had Marouane Fellaini and players like that. And then you had Jose Mourinho, Louis van Gaal, who just wanted possession, even at the expense of not scoring and just keep the ball. That's what he seemed to be obsessed with. And then you had obviously Jose, who was like, let's have a big striker like Zlatan or Lukaku and build the team around them. So this United way, for me, when I think of a United way, I think the only thing that always ties United about our way, and the thing that runs through all United teams and has been pretty consistent, is this idea that we've always had a youth player in the squad. We've always, since I think 1920 or whatever it is, had someone from the academy. So I think the United way is it gets sort of over exaggerated a little bit. This whole thing of the United way, in terms of a style, in terms of football, the way we play football, I think more of it in the United way is giving youth a chance. I think that's probably the one thing that sort of has been a consistent part of Manchester United teams for the last, I think we've got the record, I forget it, I'll get it completely wrong. Is it like 90 years or something? We've always had one player in the squad who's come through the academy. And I think that is probably the biggest part of the United way, rather than any style of football. And I'm going to be honest with you, I don't care what style, what way, what DNA, any of that business he plays. I just want to see us winning football matches again and winning trophies, because I'm not used to going 4 or 5 years without a trophy win. We're spoiled. We're spoiled as United fans. We're used to winning things. Even when we were, you know, post-Fergie, when we've been bad, we still won trophies. So we need to fix up.
Yeah. Monday, the Man United way.
Yeah, I agree. Look, as he's saying about always having a youth academy player in the setup, that is marvellous for a top flight club, you know, and we are one of the top clubs in the world. So to do that, that gives us some sort of identity. We can always fall back and say, yeah, we've always had youths in our side. We always bring them through. And that makes us bigger than Chelsea, bigger than Man City, bigger than Real Madrid, bigger than Barcelona in a way, you know. So I like that idea. That's sort of why it's so attractive to me to be a part of Man United, to be always be looking at Greenwood, Rashford, and over the years, all these great players have come through. All started maybe from Busby's Babes. What side they could have been, you know? So that's identity. It's ingrained in our club, and that's what makes us special, and more special than any other club out here. I don't care who you are, even in Liverpool. Liverpool, a fantastic club, but they don't have that youth kind of policy over the years like we do. And they don't, when was I mean, Trent's come through, Gerrard comes through, but once in the blue moon, we're consistently delivering, you know? So I think we're special, extra special, more so than anyone else.
Rebel?
Yeah, like when you look at United's DNA, as being said, mainly we've always had the players coming through from the class of '92 all the way up along. We've always had those players that we had developed ourselves. And again, as Jay said, I don't really care what side we play. We could play 1-0 to United all season long, and if we're on that right side of 1-0, I'm going to be happy and singing from the rafters that we won 1-0. It doesn't matter how ugly and how trench water it gets. If we have a style of play that our players are buying into and performing and love that badge for, I'm happy. But we need to get our structures right. Ferguson had David Gill. We need to get our David Gill making the football decisions.
So on Monday is going to be happy with you before I go to Mr. B, because you spoke about
No,
1-0.
that's not me. No, it's not me.
Just to remind you guys, I remember when we went on one of our championship winning runs, and it was from January till about March. We were 1-0, 1-0, 1-0, 1-0, 1-0, and we're still playing great football. I think Kansas scored in a few of these games as well. So under George Graham, they say boring Arsenal, always 1-0, 1-0. But we were winning 1-0, but it was exciting. We had an identity then, and like you saying, we have transformed over the years, but we still want to see that. And I think what's happened now is that Ollie's come along and said, okay, I'm going to go back to the United way, thinking it's exciting football, but leaving us completely exposed with two midfielders or something. They're not Robson and Keane, or they're not like Vincent Robson. It's not going to really work like that anymore. So, yeah, I think we have to evolve with the times, and football goes in certain spirals as well. Eventually, we're going to get back down to like a 2-3-5, like they used to play in the 2020s or something, you know? But it's all about evolution, and I think we just need to adapt, get up to date with what they're playing at the moment. And it's a high-level technical football being played by Liverpool, by Chelsea, by Man City, and just get back on, just close the gap, but still have your identity. Don't lose that.
Mr. B?
Sorry, I was laughing. I was going through some of the messages. I'm really sorry. I'm going to leave you lot to carry on. There's just some conversations going on in here that they've had me going. So I'm just glad to be back. I'm getting used to. I've been away for a week, man. I'm excited to be back with you guys. I'm sorry, man.
Brilliant. No, that's fine. That's fine. For me, for the Man United way, I've always stated and I've always said it. For us as Man United fans, and Jay said it as well, all of us will say it. We've been spoiled over the years. I remember back in the days when I first started supporting Man United back in, I think, was it 85? We were successful then, but we weren't as successful as later into the 90s. But right now speaking, we've gone how many years now without trophy? It's time we start delivering trophies. And as I said earlier in the streaming, even if we went on, we don't win nothing. We finished 7th in the league this season. Providing we win the Champions League, I don't really care. And also with style of football and whatever we play, if we go out there and we win 3-2, providing we're winning games, I do not give two flying hoots. I just want us to go out there and be winning games, and Man United to come back to the glory days. But guys, if you're watching, please like, please share, please subscribe. We're the Man United agenda, and we're on the road to 1K subscribers. And without you guys and without all the comments, we would not be your channel. So make sure you're hitting that like, share, and subscribe button to the Man United agenda. And as always, let's sign off the show with Jay. Jay, where can we find you, sir?
You know what I'm going to say here to you guys, man. Everyone knows where to find me.
I gave you that fiver earlier, Jay.
Ubiquitous. I'm everywhere. You know, you can't escape me. But if there's anyone who's come over from Stretford Paddock who's watching you guys, because I put a little link on the community tab on Paddock, then I implore you to subscribe to these guys. You've seen it tonight, right? Tonight, we've had a difference of opinion on Zidane, a difference of opinion on Rodgers, a difference of opinion on Ole, a difference of opinion on Fred, a difference of opinion on Ronaldo. Yeah, I've not heard any nonsense. You know, people have got valid arguments to make and can make them. We go back and forth and have a laugh with it. And I love that about what you guys do, because it's a proper good debate without it just degenerating into nonsense and bluster. And we always have a laugh as well. So subscribe to this channel, man. They're doing some good stuff. They're at the games. They're at the games giving reaction as well. Plus they're doing content every night as well, doing the live shows, getting people involved in the comments. It's what it should be about, man. It's good to see on YouTube, because I know there can be a lot of sort of people just trying to get the easy clicks or trying to cause dramas and stuff like that. But these are genuine United fans, and it's always a pleasure and an honor to come on this channel. It really is. I enjoy it every time I come on.
Speech.
Thank you, Jay. Thank you.
Make sure you give me that money. Make sure you give me the money that you promised me to say. If I don't get that £5 in my PayPal account, I'm gonna start a hate campaign on social media against you lot, the likes of which have never been seen.
Oh gosh.
Thank you, Jake. And guys, like we said, we are going to be at the Watford game. So if you are going to the Watford game, look out for us. We'll be doing fans reaction. We'll get you onto the stream. Also, we are on the road to 1K subscriber. We have got a show on Wednesday night. We have got the Premier League preview show on Thursday night. We also have a quiz show on Friday, which Jay is still winning, still leading the way, Jay, with the quiz show.
You know what, as well, right? I get you know what? I get so much stick for this quiz, right? The first time I came on, I was getting some guy telling me off because of the time limit, and the rules had changed when I was on, right? I was like, what? And then I went on it again and I won. And then I was having someone telling me I had easy questions. I was like, people get angry about this quiz, you know. Like, I can't win.
Brilliant. And on Friday night, Mr. B will be back at 10 p.m. with Friday Night Takeaway with with Talk MU. And if you have not seen it, please tune in. It's where we go through the clips from the prior week to find out who slipped up, who made some mistake. And at the moment, Amanda is leading the way heavily with, I think, about 4, but he tried to fix it last week, which we're not having, and the week before. So watch out for the Monday of the week as well, because on Monday is lucky at the moment. There's still a few more days to go for it to slip up and say something. But guys, if you're watching, please like, please share, please subscribe to the Mania Agenda, and we shall see you guys on Wednesday night. And as always, thank you so much for everyone who's tuned in, commented. We really appreciate all the support, and without you guys, there would not be a channel.
We got some high-level comments as well, like what Jay was saying about what we talk about on the show. I think it all stems from the comments as well. I mean, we attracted some really intelligent football guys. Bath Time, Ole, Talk MU, all you guys, man, fantastic, love it.
Yeah,
we really appreciate every single comment, guys, and we apologize.
Sarragon,
we can't get through all the comments.
Just on that, sorry, bro. Just on that, I'm with Tomo tomorrow. Actually, is my friend who I go to the games with, and we used to do podcasts years ago. He doesn't tend to do much like online anymore, but I'll ask him if I can get him on because he's
brilliant.
A good guy.
Thank you. Appreciate that. So, guys, please watch, like, share, and subscribe, and we will be back on Wednesday night. And you'll find myself, Mr. B, on Monday, and Rebel on the channel on Wednesday. So, and Jay, as always, thank you so much, sir. Pleasure.
Have
a lovely evening, guys, and good night.
Thank you.